Gloria Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. Today we have some awesome guests, Dr. Tamorie Smith and Mr. Noah Hudson. Welcome. Are you waving at the camera? Can you say hello?
Hello, everybody.
Can you speak a little louder?
Hello, everybody.
Because I really want to make sure that your classmates at your school and your grandmother know that you're here, and you're going to really be talking about all of the great things that you're doing at your school. So, what is the name of your school?
Emanuel Preparatory School of Math and Science.
Emanuel Preparatory School of Math and Science. And so, what grade will you be starting in the next school year?
Me and my classmates will be starting 2nd grade next year.
Oh my goodness, Noah, you got old so quick. It just seems like you were just a baby or pre-K or something. So you're going to be in the 2nd grade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's Emanuel Preparatory School Math and Science?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so what else have you been learning at your school?
I've been learning English, Spanish.
Spanish? Mm-hmm. So tell me a word in Spanish.
Hola.
Hola, what is that? Hello? Okay, and what's the rest of it? What's another one?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? Okay, and so you just came from Mexico. You went on a family vacation. Mm-hmm. Were you able to use your language then?
I was.
You tried?
I tried, but you wouldn't let me talk to anybody.
Dr. Smith, you wouldn't let him talk.
Oh, I let him talk. I let him talk plenty.
Yeah.
He has a couple of phrases, so I let him use those phrases, and there were several very amused people there.
Because he was answering the question he
was
asking.
He would say, "Hola, ¿cómo estás bien?" And I said, "Well, slow down, son.
Right.
Let them answer."
Right. And so you have been a part of Emanuel.
Right.
For a while.
Yes, Noah started there in pre-K 4, and so he's been there through kindergarten, 1st grade, and now he'll be going to 2nd grade. And so, Emanuel Prep is a all-boys school.
All boys?
It's all boys.
Okay.
I love that. It's all boys. It is a private school. And so the young men go, and the whole purpose is it's STEM motivated. It's a slant towards math and science, because we very much feel that that's the key to our young men, and our young men being able to grow up and be well educated and be useful for the workforce of the future.
Okay, and so it's a balance.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's what you were wanting to make sure.
Yes.
You had a good start.
Yes.
Solid foundation.
Solid foundation.
Right.
But also a solid foundation that also understands his role as a young African-American male in our community.
And that is very
in our
important.
world.
Yes.
And especially today, I do think that's important. So the academics absolutely is top. It's important. And luckily, with Emanuel Prep, we've been able to find a balance that we have the strong academics, but then we also have the strong religious and social environment that I feel a young man today needs.
So we're going to have the academic and the cultural.
Absolutely.
And the spiritual.
Absolutely.
The balance.
It is a Christian-based school.
It is, and it's important. And where is that? That's located on the campus of?
The campus of New Birth Church.
All right, and that's a non-denominational church.
Correct.
Right, and so is that open to just members or
No,
the general public?
my husband and I, my family, we're not members of New Birth. Quite the contrary. We go for the school and what have you, but it's open to anyone in the community.
And so it goes from what to what?
So it starts with pre-K 3, and they go up right now 2nd grade.
Okay.
And they'll basically, the goal or the mission is to add a grade a year.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, because when Noah started, his grade was the only grade there. And so every year, they've
has
added a
grown.
new grade. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So Noah next year will be able to go to 3rd grade.
Exactly.
Right, so he was one of the original students?
Right. Well, the school started in that fall, and then Noah came in December. So there were, obviously, I can't remember, 10 or 12 families that started when the school first opened its doors. I'm a little different, Miss Gloria, and so we didn't start that first day with them, but we got on board soon thereafter.
Right, you just had to kind of see how things are going.
Absolutely,
and that's nothing's wrong with that.
As a lot of parents, you don't want your child to be a science project. You don't want you want to make sure that something's going to be what it's supposed to be before you become a part.
Right.
And We were a few months behind for that reason, because I needed to be sure.
Yes.
But we
Of
went.
course, he was the firstborn.
Exactly.
Now we have Mia.
Yes, right.
Yes.
But new mom, first
Yes.
child, I had to
Right.
be sure.
Right.
And so now we joined Emanuel Prep, the family there, and I've been very pleased with what they've provided for him academically.
Okay. And so what is the student-teacher ratio?
Oh, it's
Is it?
wonderful.
Is it?
It's wonderful. That's one of the pluses of the program there. So up till now, there's been 2 classes per grade, and so Noah's class had about 13 students at the end of last year.
So there are a lot of hands-on, one-on-one.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. And so now that as it's been growing, he'll be in a class with Mr. Taylor next year, a male teacher, which
How
I very
awesome is
much
that?
think is
and
fantastic.
we need more male
And
teachers.
that's one of the reasons we're at
Yes.
Emanuel Prep, because
Yes.
that's something we get there. And I think it's important for young
It
men
is.
this age to
Yes,
see
to
other
see.
male role models.
Exactly.
Noah has a strong support system at home, but I feel like I need to mirror that in his school environment.
Right. And so he's going to be with Mr. Taylor.
He'll be with Mr. Taylor, and there'll be approximately 13 to 15 boys in the class.
Really?
Maybe less. It just depends on the enrollment. But they make a promise to us for the ratio to not go past a certain point.
Right.
Noah's been in class at times, and it's been a 7-to-1 ratio.
Really?
Absolutely.
So that way, Noah, we're making sure that you get all of the basic skills down. That's why your vocabulary is just so interesting, because a little earlier today you were having a conversation with me in the production room, and it was just phenomenal, that vocabulary. So are you learning your vocabulary words every week, or for your language art class? How do you learn? You have spelling words? Do you know how to read?
I know how to read a lot of stuff.
Oh, do you? Okay, do you read books?
I do.
You
I
do?
like books.
You like books? What's your favorite book?
Well, mostly.
About animals, cars?
About animals. I mostly love animals.
You mostly love animals?
They're part of nature, and nature's good because nature provides food for you. Because if we didn't have no crops, we wouldn't have no food.
Okay, and food is important. We need that to survive, yes? Okay, and that's important to know. We need crops to have food. Because some people think they just go to the store and buy it. But guess what? The farmers have to grow the food, right?
They bring it to the store.
And they bring it to the store.
And if we didn't have the farmers, we wouldn't be able to have shirts. Because the farmers had to make it in the cotton.
Oh, so the farmers grow the cotton so we could have shirts for the cotton shirts. Like your shirt there under your uniform, huh? How about that? Did you learn that at school? Or
I
did you
learned
learn
that
that from watching TV or with your grandmother?
I learned that from watching my iPad.
From what? Your iPad?
I'm not watching no news, though.
You're not watching the news. It's too much bad stuff, right? Yeah.
No, it's not too much bad stuff. I just like to watch kids stuff before I grow up.
Oh, okay. You're going to take your time growing up. Oh, Dr. Smith, I tell you, what an adventure. Well, what we're going to do, Dr. Smith and Noah, we're going to take our first break, go to our sponsor, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Chalk by Quincy introduces Excellence Redefined, timepieces of the finest technology, luxury, and class with tons of style at chalklifestyle.com. Renal Associates LLC, a team of physicians dedicated to excellent kidney care with 5 convenient locations to serve you: Stark Avenue, Columbus; Bradley Park Drive, Columbus; Lafayette Parkway, LaGrange; West Washington Street, Eufaula; and Spring Street in Warm Springs. Vanessa Jackson's District 3 Successful Scholars Program, supporting students in achieving academic excellence, outstanding citizenship, positive social and cultural growth, believing in success for kids. Dr. Sheikha Shaw Family Medicine, connecting your health to your future. Dr. Shaw prides herself in providing compassionate health care and establishing long-lasting relationships. Conveniently located at 2827 Warm Springs Road, Suite 3B. Call her today at 706-324-4177.
Walmart's reason for supporting Thurgood Marshall College Fund is simple. We like to win. And We have been given a lot of exposure to some incredible talent. And we also believe that it's a part of our responsibility to the community to give back. This is a great opportunity to do both. It's been a wonderful experience for us through the years. We've appreciated our partnership. We believe in return on investment, and we have definitely had a remarkable return.
History is important because it shows where you're coming from and where you're going. Type 2 diabetes is something that runs in my family, which means I'm at risk. In fact, 1 in 3 American adults are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And knowing this, if I do nothing, that family history becomes my family's future. And my family is too important to me for that. Take the risk factor assessment today at AskScreenKnow.com.
And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this conversation with Noah Hudson and Dr. Tamorie Smith. Noah, I don't know what Dr. Smith is going to do with you. It is clear to Mrs. Strode that there should be a cutoff for having young children because you're always thinking and you're always challenging who, what, when, where, how, and why. So is that because your mother is so smart or your grandmother? You're always
because I
just
was
thinking.
raised smart.
You were raised smart?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what does that look like? How would you say that? So what was mommy doing that made you pay attention?
Well, when I was a little baby, I used to love my mom so much I used to even go with her to places.
Mm-hmm.
Even places I wasn't supposed to be, like at work, right? Right? I like to play with your boxes, spirit boxes.
That's true.
Okay, so you
And
were
I
going
still
to
like
your
to.
mother's medical office, places you were not supposed to be going. So Noah, now you've told everyone on TV that you went to your mother's medical office that you were not supposed to be going. But I don't think that your mother's partners mind or Miss Beverly at the office. I think they
Because
thought it was-
because my mom's partners are my friends.
Oh, they're your
Right?
friends too?
Right.
Like Miss Gladys, she babysits me, and Miss Karina and other people, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so that's a part of your village. Those are the people that helps mommy take care of you. Okay then. All right, so going to mommy's office, mommy helps take care of sick people, yes?
Yes, she
Okay,
does.
and so did you ever help mommy with anything at work, like straightening up her papers, or you just
I used to.
you
do
used
that.
to? But now you got too old, you go to school?
I go to school and I mostly don't have time to even go to her work. But like when she's like working on Saturdays, because she works on and off on each weekends, like the week, and when she's off on the weekend, it's like when she has to work for another whole week. And then she gets back off on another weekend and then a straight whole week, right?
Right.
And then you get to go with her to the office on the weekend. Okay, so
she's
is Mia,
working.
your baby sister, coming, or she's too young? Just you and mommy?
Just me and mommy for now. She's going to school in the fall.
Oh, Mia's going to school in the fall? Oh my goodness, so what school is Mia going to? She's getting pretty old too now, huh?
Pacelli.
Oh, Mia's going to
Pacelli.
Pacelli.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, so you have children in 2 different
I
locations.
do.
And then
I
you have to
do.
make rounds at the hospitals.
I do.
In
It's a challenge.
Alabama and Georgia.
It's a challenge.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
But
So in second grade, I'm going to start riding the bus all day, every day.
oh, you're going to ride the bus like a big boy.
Yes.
Second grade bus rider?
I used to just be aftercare. I used to just stay in the daycare
Uh-huh.
until my parents picked me up.
Okay, so now you're going to ride the school bus?
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll know how to get on and off by yourself.
I know how to do that. I mostly have my friends on the school bus.
Okay, so these are your classmates on the school bus?
Most
So
of them.
there are going to be rules about being on the school bus, right? So we have to,
Right.
what, be good citizens, good friends, follow the rules.
Yep, sometimes the twins get to fighting, of course.
Yeah.
And
The
before we even
twins?
take off,
So they're
twins.
siblings?
Well, they live with each other,
Uh-huh.
but there's 2 Noahs in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Noah's a popular name.
It is. So the twins, so if they get, have a disagreement, then they have to go to the headmaster's office, to the principal's office?
Well, after we take off, there's no turning back. Only when everybody gets off.
And then when they get off, they have to go see the people, go to the office to talk about it.
Well, if they thought they were a bus rider, yeah, they would have to do that.
They would have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Smith, are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to the second grade.
I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
I'm just trying to imagine having one at the preparatory school,
Right.
second grade,
Right.
going on 12th grade.
Yes.
And then you say Mia
will
is
be
very
starting
similar.
pre-K 3, yes.
Going to Pacelli.
Pacelli.
She is just as precocious, yes.
And then you are full-time nephrologist
Right.
at Renal Associates.
Right.
And you all serve multiple counties
Absolutely.
in Alabama and Georgia.
Absolutely.
And so, how are you managing all of that?
I have a village.
You have a village?
I have a village. I have a wonderful husband who has my back in all situations. I have a mother that I would not give
And a
anything
father.
for. And a father. And they all surround me.
Well, my dad has
surrounded.
my dad has a mother, but his dad is dead.
Oh,
Which was
okay.
my great grandpa.
That
Okay,
is all
so
true.
he-
And I always wish I always want to learn more about him.
But you still have time, and the bigger you get, you can learn more about him.
I only got to learn when I was a baby, and I mostly didn't know nothing when I was a baby.
Yeah, but you're learning
know
so much
everything
now.
now.
Oh, Lord, I'm telling you.
Yep.
My goodness. So we're expecting great things from you for the next school year. Okay?
Sure.
We're expecting for you to be a good citizen at school,
I
to be
can't
a
wait
to be a
for
great
school
a
to come back
helper,
in.
excellent grades,
I'm always a helper.
and a great friend.
Whenever I see something, I go ahead and do it.
Do you? So that was how you were trained to do that, by mommy and daddy? If it's
right.
supposed to get done, go ahead on and do it. Okay. Well, what I want you to do is look at the camera and say, "We'll be right back."
We will be right back. It will continue.
It will continue. And Noah has said it. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Warrior Outreach. Contact Command Sergeant Major Retired Sam Rhodes or Kathy Rhodes. The Hugel Foundation, enriching the community through Christian music support, community outreach, and the Georgia Through Photography Project. For more information, call B at 706-568-6431. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations. East Alabama Endocrinology, educating and caring for those living with diabetes in Alabama and Georgia. 1400 Bradley Lake Boulevard, 3320 Skyway Drive, Suite 602, Opelika. Take charge of diabetes and live your best life. State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front line for veterans every day. History is important because it shows where you're coming from and where you're going. Type 2 diabetes is something that runs in my family, which means I'm at risk. In fact, 1 in 3 American adults are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And knowing this, if I do nothing, that family history becomes my family's future. And my family is too important to me for that. Take the risk factor assessment today at AskScreenNo.com.
Walmart's reason for supporting Thurgood Marshall College Fund is simple. We like to win. And we have been given a lot of exposure to some incredible talent. And we also believe that it's a part of our responsibility to the community to give back. This is a great opportunity to do both. It's been a wonderful experience for us through the years. We've appreciated our partnership. We believe in return on investment, and we have definitely had a remarkable return.
I wish you would shower every once in a while. I was wondering if maybe you wanted to hang out this weekend. Sorry, I don't think it's gonna work out.
Little by little, it all adds up.
Welcome back.
All right. We are continuing this awesome conversation with the one and only Noah Hudson from Emanuel Preparatory School of Math and Science. Dr. Smith, I applaud you. You are a brilliant nephrologist, and you probably can credit yourself for some of all of this intellect over here on this side of the table. Of course, your husband is a great supporter, and you went
And a
to
great dad.
and your dad, and
And
you
a great
attended the University of Alabama.
Absolutely.
Roll Tide. So
Roll
you were-
Tide.
Oh Lord, she's trained him.
Oh,
so you were a brilliant kid yourself.
Well, I don't know about brilliant, Gloria, but I mean, I always did well in school, you know, and knowing that and knowing how important education is, obviously my husband and I take our children's education very seriously.
And
It
you
is-
sacrifice.
Right. It
Yes.
is the most important thing. And that's why, you know, we mentioned before the kids are going to 2 different schools. Would it be more convenient? Absolutely it would. But we feel like what Noah's getting at Emanuel Prep is worth the sacrifice. One thing that I love about the school, it's non-traditional. And that means, you know, all the learning is not done just sitting in a classroom watching the teacher teach. It's very different. They know that as young men, they have a lot of energy. They have a lot of movement, you know.
Right.
They channel that.
Like we say, boys will be boys at a high level of energy.
Absolutely. They channel
and then
that.
he's not penalized for
Right.
that. He's redirected.
That's exactly right.
And that's
so-
some of our concern in some of the other school
right.
settings.
They focus things how they know young men learn best.
Oh, I
And
like
so, right, and so they go outside, they plant gardens, they learn how plants grow. So they don't just learn it in a book and read it and talk about it. They
There's
go out
a
and they
theory
do it.
and then the practical.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I love that. My child comes home and they have science projects, you know. Now at first, you got a kindergarten at home, you're doing a science project, you're thinking, what am I doing? This is
Really?
crazy. But I mean, you know,
That
the proof is in
early?
the pudding. Oh, absolutely. They had homework, they had science projects, they have projects at Black History Month, they do plays. I mean, it's amazing. But what these young men can do, you see it, and you're just
And then
proud.
they are letting them grow and develop.
Absolutely.
Right. And not just microchip.
Right.
Because some of the learning environments, it's a microchip.
Right.
It's like you got to sit in your chair. You can't do this. You can't do that.
And I recognize that that's traditional learning. I mean, that's how I was taught, you know. But I also recognize that there's different ways to do it.
Right.
And kids flourish and kids grow when
Right.
you do things a little bit differently and outside
Right.
of the box.
Right.
And Emanuel Prep gets that.
Right.
And so that's what
And
they're
all
doing.
kids learn differently.
Exactly.
And there is no right or wrong way.
That's
Some
right.
is by seeing,
That's
touching,
right.
doing.
That's
and we
right.
have to be able to meet them.
That's right.
And some environments are not conducive to that.
Correct.
And when you got 30 kids in a class and not enough books,
That's a problem.
that is a problem.
And at Emanuel Prep, they're working with computers, they're teaching the kids how to code, they're doing all of these things. And
Are you learning how to code? Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
and as a kindergartner, I mean, you have these little boys, and you watch them, and during the assemblies and the things they're showing us what they're learning, it's amazing.
Really?
I've been blown away. I've
Okay.
been blown away.
And so, how do people, because I do know for some folks will say, well, everyone can't afford that, but they did have some scholarships.
Absolutely. So they do have scholarships, and you know all of that goes through the president and headmaster and their board. They have
Right.
a board, obviously,
Okay.
but there are scholarships that are still available, so that all young men can have the opportunity to
So
take
people
advantage
have
of
to
this.
apply,
Right.
but then they have to make sure, because it's kind of on the north end of town,
Right.
that you can get there.
Well, they have buses.
Oh, so the buses are traveling
They
all
have
over?
buses that pick up. I know of 2 stops downtown, and then there's a stop off of St. Mary's Road.
Oh, okay.
Right, because we have children from Phoenix City that come, and you know, all over Columbus.
Yeah.
So even though the location for the school is sort of North Columbus, almost Midland,
Right.
and the actual physical address is Midland, they have buses that come, and so
Oh,
the
see,
bus.
I didn't know that.
Right,
I'm
the bus
learning.
picks the kids up, takes them to school, and then brings them back to the bus
Okay.
stop. So
All
a lot
right,
of
and
people
so the
take
parents
advantage
just
of
meet
that.
them at the bus stops.
Exactly.
Oh, really? And so the name is on the side of your bus too?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
it is.
Really?
It's a white bus with Emanuel Preparatory School of Math and Science.
How cool is
Yes.
that? And so this is your Charlotte sharp uniform with the crest.
This is our scholar uniform, so the young men wear this when they have assemblies and when they, have dress-up occasions. And then they
Right.
have another uniform they wear during the school year, which is a polo shirt with the crest, with the Emanuel Prep logo.
Just
Okay.
like
And their
this.
khaki
Just like the
pants.
dress shirt. So it's on the dress shirt too.
Everything has our logo on it.
Oh my goodness.
Except for our tie.
Except for our tie.
But
I'm
the
sure-
tie has the color.
But the tie has the color.
school colors.
And I'm sure you will be working on that. Now, what are your school colors?
The school colors are red and blue.
Red and blue.
Or white.
With white. Okay, so he has explained to us. And again, you're going to be second grade
Yes, ma'am.
in Mr. Taylor's class.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
tell us the name of the school again. Look at the camera and tell us.
Emanuel Preparatory School in Math and Science.
And you're going to be a second grader
Yes, ma'am.
and one of the leaders.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because you're an original student. Okay,
Yes,
Dr.
ma'am.
Smith, again, who is the headmaster if people want to reach out and learn more?
So our president is Carlos Coleman. He's the
Okay.
pastor of New Birth Church as well.
Okay.
And so he is the president and headmaster right now.
Okay, and so they can Google it?
Absolutely. They can, it's online. They can just Google Emanuel Preparatory School, and there's a Facebook page, and it's online, and there are phone numbers and websites and all that.
Okay. Well, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule. You are an awesome nephrologist. For people that might not know what that is, that's a kidney doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
Very important, taking care of folks, and I will never be able to thank you enough for the excellent care that you all provided my father. I can speak to your brilliance. You've taken care of some of my other family members, and that's why I know education is very important to you, and I wanted you to come and share with our audience, because you're living proof. You're an Army kid.
Yeah.
You're not a trust fund kid.
No, ma'am.
So you worked your way through college
Absolutely.
to become a nephrologist.
Yes, ma'am.
And so now you are investing in your children.
That's right.
And it's more important to you to invest in him than some of all of the other things of the world.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's what we have to start looking at.
Yes,
Well, I thank you so much for your support. The team of Renal Associates, you all make this show happen. And I just wanted them to see Mr. Noah and let him share with us the great things about our preparatory school.
Thank you for having
And
us.
thank you, Noah, for coming.
You're welcome.
All right. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
Good day. And make sure to be proud of God for making you in this world.
Okay.